How many of us in these food-obsessed times have dreamed of opening our own restaurant? Maybe we team up with a few friends and spend our days sharing with our lucky customers the dishes that bring us joy. In this episode, we'll meet chef entrepreneurs from across the Asian Pacific diaspora who have done just that. These risk takers braved the pandemic and the fierce competition, going deep into their Indian, Korean, Japanese, Malaysian, and Thai heritages to create not just dazzling new menus, but standing room only Manhattan dining experiences. As veterans of Masa, where they met, the sushi chefs Jihan Lee and Taka Sakeda know a thing or two about the fine art of raw fish. With another former Masa colleague, Lisa Lim, they struck out on their own and opened a restaurant focusing on temaki, or Japanese handrolls. Their modern, Instagram-friendly take on the traditional handmade sushi rolls was an immediate success and spawned a second location in Brooklyn where I got a sneak peek. Nami Nori incorporates non-traditional ingredients with top-of-the-line fresh seafood and adds touches like gochujang for heat, crispy shallots for crunch, and lemon zest for tang. Lisa, who is the restaurant's director of operations, came up with the name Nami Nori after the Hawaiian word for waves, channeling the joys of island life and surf culture. I sat down with the trio to find out how they made their restaurant dreams come true. What was your original idea behind Nami Nori?
When I was at Masa, I met somebody who wanted to open a Korean restaurant, kimbap. And so, I was trying to figure out ways how to do kimbap and, try to make it sexy. Because, kimbap is really like your mom makes for like picnics or like road trips, and it's easy to. It has all the ingredients in there.
It's just like a big seaweed roll with eggs and pickled
like
vegetables.
All the good like vegetables, protein, everything's in there, carbs, and vitamin C, everything's in there. And I was trying to make it new. We had a partner, Lisa, who was also at Masa, who had suggested that why don't we just do it in a hand roll form and make it, beautiful like that aesthetically. There's all these colors in there. And then, we decided to team up with Taka and do a Japanese hand roll. And so that's kind of how it all started.
I also got a hands-on lesson in hand rolls, Nami Nori style. All right, Jihan, what are we making today?
Well, we can, we'll probably do like 5 later, but we can start with 1 or 2. Everything is pre-measured out. So these.
Look at those rice balls.
Rice balls here, and basically what you want to do is you kind of want to make it look like this, but a little bit flatter and more spread out, just like that.
Got it.
Yeah. This is our wasabi that we keep, all the stations have it. You can just take a little, kind of make like a J shape with your finger. Just want to kind of roll it on there. This is our tuna poke that we're just going to grab just a spoonful and just slide it right on top like that. There you go.
What's in your tuna poke?
There's red onions, myoga, which is a type of ginger, like the flower of a ginger.
Oh.
There's also ginger in there, scallions, tuna. And after you put it in, you can just kind of spread it out a little bit, make it nice, beautiful shape. And then this is our poke sauce that we can just drizzle on. So after that's done, we have the crispy shallots here that we can just kind of sprinkle on, and this adds a little bit of texture, some crunch. You just put this on the center here, and then just grab like this. And normally that's when I put it up here, and the guests can enjoy from here. Yeah.
What an amazing bite.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. So many different textures, and you get the water from the red onions, and then the nuttiness.
Very tasty.
Like everything looks pretty because we live in the age where social media is so important, and the first thing people do when they see this is take a picture of it. So we want to make sure, make it look good, make it look colorful, sexy, and you're really eating, or the camera eats first, as they say.
Always. For example, XO, this is like a Chinese influenced roll. This coconut shrimp is, Thai. And so we all have different backgrounds, and Chef Jihan is Korean, Lisa happens to be half Korean, half Japanese, I'm Japanese. But, and obviously in the United States, we have a global audience. And so we're trying to, some way, in some form, have some representation there in each of our temaki as well. And so that was kind of important to us.
Yeah, that's why I think, for us, it's really like our modern take on Japanese cuisine. We wanted to take that and just kind of riff on it and make it a little bit younger, more fun, more modern. And I think that's, one of our values is about spreading joy. I think that's really what essentially is driving us in doing this, and that's what, at the end of the day, what we're passionate about.
Yes.
Some people that come dine with us, they can eat anywhere in the world, but they choose to come to our restaurant every week, or, and support us, so it feels like we're doing something right.
Walking across Manhattan to the outskirts of Chinatown, I trade the elegant minimalism of Nami Nori's handrolls for the down-home street food at Kopitiam. This storefront restaurant is Chef Kyo Pong's love letter to the traditional Malaysian coffee shop and to the Nyonya cuisine she grew up with. A comforting but spicy blend of Malaysian, Chinese, Indonesian, Indian, and European influences. If you're an all-day snack food addict, a Kopitiam will be your happy place.
Nyonyas came from basically, because back then there was Portuguese were in Malaysia for a little bit, and then there's the name that is called grandma, like Nyonye. So it's and then it were pronounced as a Nyonya. So when we refer, Baba means the men.
Okay.
Nyonyas means the women. So
I
we're
see.
Baba Nyonyas. So it's not a race. It's a very particular culture.
This is kaya toast,
Yes.
right? With the pandan.
Yes, the pandan jam, coconut milk, palm sugar, eggs, and the pandan leaves.
I feel like that's one of the most famous, kind of Malaysian sweets or Malaysian snacks that people are familiar with.
Yes, usually a lot of coconut and all that. So people would assume that. So the bread was actually prepared in the Hainanese style. So it's crispy on the outside, fluffy right in the middle. And some places they like it to cut it in a very thin and crusty. So everything we served here is more like how I like it. So in Malaysia, we don't really have a thing that we define as breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So no one judged you, especially from where I was from. I'm from Penang. So Penang people just snack all day. Kopitiams means coffee shop in our language. Kopis means coffee, tiams means shop. And every Kopitiam has different cuisine.
What is this delicious nugget that I'm eating?
So this is the pandan chicken. So it's another thing that we also use the pandan leaf.
Oh, this is the leaf, the
Yes.
famous leaf.
So no one actually wrapped it in that way anymore. And it looks triangles, but it's actually a octagon. The pandan leaves will give the fragrance to the meat. So when we steam it, it will absorb the flavors. So this is a belacan chicken wing. So belacan is a shrimp paste.
And then this is a sweet glutinous rice ball with sesame and peanut.
Sesame, peanuts, and sugar. So this one is best serving hot. For this one is loba. Loba is marinated minced pork. This is the ochan. Ochan is the oyster omelet. It's one of my favorite dish, the street food that I eat when I was in Penang.
And this is the famous half sweet, half salty pandan.
Yes, the kueh talam. Kueh talam.
Okay.
There's kueh talam. So it's just salty on the top and the sweet on the bottom.
This is delicious, and I think that the saltiness really mellows out the creaminess.
Yes.
And I love the grassy flavors.
Yes, it's
of
from the pandan. Yes.
Yes.
Because
It's
we don't
so
use
fresh.
we don't use the extract extract. We use the actual leaf to get the color.
And what is this?
This is the puluinti, which is the blue sticky rice with the grated coconut. It's one of my mom's favorite too. She shipped
it's gorgeous.
She shipped the butterfly pea, which is the flowers, all the way from Malaysia every 6 months.
Really?
So
that's love.
Simple, just grated coconut on top and the blue sticky rice on the bottom. During that time when I opened up Kopitiam, it's never the case that I want to see myself as in like, I want to open a restaurant that will make me richer, or I want to open a restaurant that will influence people. It's more like I want to preserve what my family have given to me.
That's really beautiful. No, it really is.
I think part of it is also because of what I believe. Because like we Nyonya, we believe things comes in circle. And we believe where we start, we always come back to where we're from.
Rani Mazumdar and Chintan Pandya named their restaurant group Unapologetic Foods, and that's their approach to bringing heritage Southern Indian cuisine to America. At Sema in Manhattan's West Village, chef Vijay Kumar, who grew up in Tamil Nadu, brings ancestral flavors of the Indian countryside to New York City diners. I get a taste of his deeply personal and perfectionist approach in a dosa-making tutorial. So what goes into making the dosa?
So you soak the lentil and rice overnight, and then you blend them. And then let them ferment it overnight again, naturally. It depends on the temperature. Sometimes it gets fermented so fast within 6 hours, in case if you have right temperature. During cold season, it may take more than like 12 hours or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So once it's fermented, then you have to make dosas a year. Yeah.
So you have to get the griddle really hot.
Yeah, it's
and oiled.
the most important thing I always say, it's seasoning the griddle is most important. As you can see, I've been doing it for the last 20 minutes, still not ready yet. So you need to make sure the temperature is right, and then it's been seasoned properly. Otherwise, this dosa is kind of sticky on the griddle. So you have to make sure it's been seasoned perfectly.
So what do you want diners to take away from being at Sema?
I just wanted to understand or taste what authentic Indian food is, like what Southern Indian food is. Like Indian food is not just about Southern Indian food is just not only about dosas or idli. There's a lot more than dosa and idli too.
Yes.
So I just want them to understand there's a lot more in India than just idli or dosas or something like that too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, that looks pretty simple. You made it look really easy. So this is generally eaten for breakfast or just as a snack food?
Generally breakfast, you can eat them like I eat them 3 times a day.
What is in that gunpowder chili?
So there's a lot of spices and lentils and chilies.
Okay.
So we roast everything, we just ground them in the house.
Ah.
I'm gonna add some more ghee to that. So get a little nice and crunchy and crispy. Yeah.
Yes.
Little potatoes.
And what's the potatoes?
That's turmeric, lentils, chilies, and onions, cilantros. All right, now, see, you can let it sit for at least a minute or so. See the little golden color it's coming on the side? That means it's almost ready. Then you can just flip it.
Ooh.
Or you can just fold it. There you go. Then we just do this.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
It's like a crepe. I see your French mastery coming into play here.
So, this is it.
Wow,
Yeah.
gorgeous. It's like a gift, a present. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's yours.
Wow. It's really good.
Thank you. All right. So
Best
you're gonna,
dosa ever.
all right, now it's your turn. You're going to make it.
I'm going to make the worst dosa ever.
No, you're going to do well. You're going to do well. I'm here to train you. There you go. I can hold this for you.
And then start in the middle?
Yeah, just go clockwise or anti-clockwise, however you prefer. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Keep going. You gotta keep spreading. There you go. You got it, you got it. Awesome.
All right.
Well, almost there. I would say 70% is there.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
So, actually,
That's great.
your dosa
Awesome. That's great.
Sema is a word used for slang which is for excellence or a dope. You know how we say rad or a dope thing?
Oh,
so
that's
Sema is
really
a slang
dope.
for that. So like if you see something, oh my God, that car is Sema.
The premise of Unapologetic Foods is that as we look back in time, we realize that we've all been apologizing, specifically with Indian food, to the rest of the world. I'm sorry, our food has a little more spice. Sorry, our food has a little extra layer of oil. It has the kind of tempering, the flavor profile's a little bit different. The way it's cooked is totally different. So all of these things are distinctly different, which is the most amazing part of our cuisine. But somewhere in our effort to fit into the rest of the world cuisine, we have been compromising. We've been toning things down, and we've been, not just us, it has happened with every possible ethnic food in this country. In UK, we formed chicken tikka masala. In this country, we have General Tso's chicken and red curry and green curry. It has happened across the board. But somewhere, as a group, we realized that it is time now to really put our food in the way that we actually grew up, that's cooked for our palate and for the very people who has given birth to that food.
So where did you guys grow up?
I grew up in Calcutta, which is the eastern part of the country. He grew up in Mumbai.
And when did you guys become tied to the hip?
2017. 2017. Whatever you do, you have to believe in it. It doesn't matter, like, you are cooking that food, you have to believe in it. If I don't believe in something that I'm cooking, I don't want to do it. And somebody cooking and serving a chicken tikka masala is their vision. There's nothing wrong in it.
Yeah.
You understand? Everybody needs to have a vision. Everybody needs to have that purpose in our life. And our purpose in life or vision that we have as individuals and as a company is to get you that real, authentic, unapologetic version of Indian food. And that's what we are working towards. It's about expression. So nobody's doing right, nobody's doing wrong. We have to cover that part of India which nobody ever talks about. There are regions which nobody actually wants to talk about, or they feel like, oh, that cuisine is not important. So it was our responsibility to work with those regions and cuisines and culture to get those recipes out.
Unapologetic Foods isn't this overarching, grandiose idea. It's a combination, a cluster of many tiny, tiny ideas put together into one larger vision.
Phuket, the island off the west coast of Thailand, is best known today as a seaside resort featuring some of the country's most beautiful beaches. Lesser known is that the island was once home to Hokkien Chinese immigrants who were instrumental in building the tin industry, as well as Old Town, which served as their unofficial Chinatown and still thrives today. We wanted to find out why Erica CHOW, a fashion designer turned restaurant entrepreneur who runs a handful of regionally inspired cuisines, is turning to Phuket for her newest project and how this cuisine is different from what we know about Thai food.
Okay, so these noodles are the Mi Hokkien. It's like a really Chinese style noodle. This one is the Mu Hong. It's a braised marinated spare rib with soy and ginger. So it's a shrimp and pork wonton with the whole shrimp in there. And then this one is Hakun, and it's like a fritter with pork and crab.
What are you hoping people sort of get from your restaurants, and what are you hoping to kind of teach people about Thai food?
I think that our restaurants do a good job showcasing lesser seen dishes. I feel like, you know, our team really cooks what they love, what they grew up eating, or what they want to eat day to day. And I think there's something about taking that route when you're like creating your menu that really feels very authentic, and there's just something more special about that, and the whole experience comes together in a different way.
What do you think are some common misconceptions about Thai food?
I think maybe just like how limited the menus are. Maybe I think that people just don't really understand the range. I think they think Thai food should just be spicy, like across the board. It's like this weird torture game. Like the spicier you can eat, the more authentic it is, but I don't think that's true at all.
How do you feel the palate for Asian food and Thai food has changed over the years?
I think as people have become more like familiar with the ingredients and also more open to like learning about it, people have just started to fine-tune their palates. When I first started out with like my first restaurant, which was like over 10 years ago, Yunnan Kitchen, that was like one of the New York's first regional Chinese restaurants. So I think that I've always felt very strongly about creating a platform for lesser known foods and introducing things to people. Like that's very important for me.
What do you hope people get out of dining at Wan Wan?
I really hope they can see like the diversity and the breadth that Thai food has to offer, and then maybe even like spark their interest in going beyond the food to learn more about the culture and seeing why is there so much Chinese influence, and how all of our people groups sort of used to do so much trade together and mix together to create something like so new and so wonderful.
Next, we head uptown to meet Simon Kim, a creative culinary entrepreneur who is the founder of Cote, a Michelin-starred restaurant that combines the flavor and fun of Korean barbecue with the luxurious ambiance of some of America's greatest steakhouses. Simon credits his father for fostering his passion for hospitality. As a young boy, his father took him to many of Korea's finest restaurants and hotels, giving him his first taste of gracious hospitality. This early experience continues to shape Simon's vision. For him, Cote is more than just a barbecue restaurant. It is a testament to Asian excellence.
Asia was developing nations, all the good things, great restaurants, the gyms, spas, sports, all those kind of amenities. Design,
yeah.
Art, all those things all kind of belonged in this, 5-star hotels.
Yes.
And my dad had, my dad would take the family to those kind of fine places. So I had that vivid memory of those finer things in life is associated with the hotel. So I said, you know what? Let's channel that. Let's go become the hotelier that I once, always dreamt of. So I'm going to start grilling. So this is our butcher's feast. So this is USDA prime, American beef, hanger steak, super kind of that livery, awesome irony, rich leanness. And then we're going to American USDA prime dry aged ribeye. This is we call it the shrimp cut, the decal, the cap, and then this is the eye. And then we're going to American Wagyu. It's a crossbred between Japanese Wagyu and American Black Angus, kind of best of both worlds. So we call it Cote steak. And then of course we're going to finish with the Korean galbi. Galbi is marinated short rib. You saw me salivating. This is dry aged beef fat to just basically coat. It's a blend of 3 different salt, large crystal British Maldon salt, as well as a pink Himalayan salt and Korean 1000-day sea salt. And William, this is my favorite way of enjoying a meal. 2 friends, meat grilling, you hear the sound, there's a fire, you smell it, have a glass of wine, and a bunch of vegetables to nibble on while you wait to steak.
How would you describe your approach to this type of food?
My father would take me to all these fine dining restaurants, but they were kind of boring. I'm a young guy. I like to have fun, and Korean barbecue is always so much fun. So, a vivid memory of something that's super fun and communal, where you can get a little rambunctious and be yourself. To throw it down, have fun. Because life is so serious otherwise. I did Korean barbecue, which was super casual, super convivial and fun, and I married that with my second favorite, which is Peter Luger. When I came to America, went to Peter Luger for the first time. Best freaking experience, right? The porterhouse, filet mignon on one side, short loin on the other side. It was just New York strip on the other side. How do I marry the two? Because I am that, I am Korean barbecue looking guy. Right. But grew up in American steakhouse environment. Right. So I feel like we have, Cote's root is in Korean.
Yes.
But its ambiance and experience is very New York. We opened it in July of 2019, and we got our Michelin star in 4 months.
That's incredible.
Right. My mission was to create kind of the best of both worlds.
Yes.
Because Asian food people love. Yeah. I love going to Chinatown. I love going, all the food and culture is so appreciated, but I feel like it was lacking that kind of, the panache. Yes.
What was the reaction from the Asian community?
Asian Americans are the hardest crowd to please because they ask questions such as, is this authentic. You know, we can't be our own enemy. You know, we can't be our own dead weight. We can't be our own reason why we can never be what we ought to be. You know, and I'm extremely grateful as time goes by. You know, many amazing Asian restaurants open, fine dining, multiple Michelin star, you know, and our culture really kind of like really blossomed. And together, just part of that bigger movement, I feel like Cote was also able to really kind of push to the next level. Because for so long I struggled, you know, who am I, you know? Because if I go to Korea, they're like, you're not really Korean, you're like, you don't speak Korean, you have an accent, you're an American.
Right.
And I come to America, and my American friends are like, not my friends, but Americans are like, Simon, you're not American. Yes, you know, you speak the language, but you're really Korean.
Right.
So for so long, I think that my identity was like, I'm not authentically really anything, you know? So there was this kind of identity crisis. But I came to the conclusion that I don't belong in A or B, which makes me A and B.
Cheers. Boom.
Life is full of possibilities, but opening a successful restaurant that showcases the flavors of your culture seems to be one of the most popular variations of the Asian American dream. And as long as there are talented young chefs and entrepreneurs who don't make apologies for the food they grew up with, all of us who get to share their creations will be living our best culinary lives as well.